Welcome to Innovation Pulse, your quick, no-nonsense update covering the latest in startups and entrepreneurship news. First, we will cover the latest news. Goodfire raises $50 million to enhance AI interpretability. AnySphere's Cursor excels in coding assistance, and Synthesia secures major investment for video avatars. After this, we'll dive deep into Adizes' corporate lifecycle model and explore its impact on business growth and management strategies. Stay tuned. Goodfire has secured a $50 million Series A funding round by Menlo Ventures, with contributions from Lightspeed Venture Partners, Anthropic, B Capital, and others. Goodfire focuses on AI interpretability, aiming to make neural networks understandable and controllable. Despite AI advancements, the internal workings of neural networks remain a mystery, leading to unpredictable failures and risks. Goodfire's flagship platform, Ember, addresses this by decoding AI models to provide direct, programmable access to their internal processes. By transforming black box models into transparent systems, Ember allows users to discover hidden insights, shape model behaviors, and enhance performance. This approach is critical for developing safe and powerful AI models. Goodfire's team, with experience from OpenAI and Google DeepMind, pioneers mechanistic interpretability research. Their work has significantly contributed to the field, making AI systems more understandable and steerable. Collaboration with industry innovators accelerates their research, promising new scientific insights and reshaping how AI models are leveraged across various domains. Join us as we step into the competitive world of AI acquisitions. Cursor, developed by the San Francisco-based startup AnySphere, is a desktop application offering coding assistance powered by Anthropic's Claude 3.5 Sonnet model. Unlike its competitors, Cursor gained significant traction for its superior coding capabilities, even being preferred over Microsoft's GitHub Copilot by some programmers. AnySphere, founded in 2022, quickly gained attention, reaching over 1 million daily users by March and generating more than $100 million in recurring revenue. The company is backed by prominent investors, including Andreessen Horowitz and the OpenAI Startup Fund. Cursor's value lies in its integration with advanced large language models to enhance coding efficiency and accuracy. This is particularly appealing as AI's role in software development grows, with companies investing heavily in data centers to support large language models across various corporate sectors. Cursor's unique feature set and its ability to leverage Microsoft's Visual Studio Code editor make it a standout product in the AI coding space, attracting interest from major players like OpenAI, who considered acquiring the startup for its capabilities. Synthesia, a UK-based startup, has made significant strides in the world of AI-generated video avatars, securing a strategic investment from Adobe Ventures after surpassing $100 million in annual recurring revenue. This partnership highlights Adobe's intent to delve deeper into enterprise AI video tools, expanding beyond its traditional creative offerings. Synthesia's platform allows businesses to create lifelike videos using AI avatars, which can be pre-built or custom-made from real people, serving over 60,000 companies, including more than 70% of the Fortune 100. This makes it a key player in corporate training, communications, and marketing. Synthesia recently completed a $180 million Series D funding round, doubling its valuation to $2.1 billion. Despite reporting a £25.2 million pre-tax loss in 2023. The startup remains committed to a product-first strategy, aiming for real-world utility and measured growth. With new products and strategic hires, including a new CTO from Amazon, Synthesia is building Synthesia 2.0 to enhance scalable, secure, and multilingual video communications, positioning itself as a sustainable business ready for further growth. And now, pivot our discussion towards the main entrepreneurship topic.
All right, everybody. Welcome back to Innovation Pulse, where we break down the big ideas transforming business today. I'm Donna, joined as always by the insightful Yakov Lasker. Last episode, we dove into Ichak Adizes' PAEI model, those four critical management roles: producer, administrator, entrepreneur, and integrator. Remember how we talked about no single leader being perfect at all four?
Absolutely, Donna. That PAEI framework really resonated with our listeners. We got so many messages from people recognizing themselves or their colleagues in those roles. Today, I thought we could explore another fascinating aspect of Adizes' work, his corporate lifecycle model. It's basically the idea that organizations evolve through predictable stages, just like living organisms, from birth to maturity and beyond.
Love it. So we're talking organizational development as a life cycle rather than just a straight line of growth. What are these stages exactly?
Great question. We're focusing today on the early growth stages, from the very beginning, through what Adizes calls early prime. That journey takes companies through courtship, infancy, go-go, adolescence, and finally to early prime. Each stage has its own behaviors, challenges, and potential pitfalls.
Sounds like raising a child. I'm curious about that first stage, courtship. What happens there?
That's actually a perfect analogy, Donna. In courtship, the business doesn't even exist yet. It's just an idea the founder is passionate about. Think of it as the flirting stage before marriage. There's lots of enthusiasm, big dreams, and the founder is imagining all the possibilities. But critically, no real commitments have been made yet, no money spent, no leases signed, nothing built.
Ah, so it's all about the vision. I'm picturing someone sketching business plans on napkins, talking excitedly to friends about what-if scenarios. But no skin in the game yet, right?
Exactly. The founder might be networking, researching the market, crafting business plans, but they're also wrestling with fear and doubt. What if it doesn't work? What if I fail? That natural uncertainty can cause hesitation.
What's the main challenge at this courtship stage then?
Simply put, moving from talk to action. The biggest risk is what Adizes calls the affair, when there's tons of enthusiasm but no real commitment. The founder loves the dream, but never takes the leap of faith to actually start the business.
I've definitely seen that. People who are perpetually about to launch something but never quite do. So what pushes someone from courtship to the next stage?
Taking real action, signing a lease, investing money, making that first sale. That's when the company is officially born and enters the infancy stage. Consider Jeff Bezos in 1994. He was fascinated by the idea of an online bookstore, did months of research, and finally made the commitment by quitting his Wall Street job, packing up, and driving to Seattle to start Amazon. That decisive action marked the end of courtship.
Nice example. So now the business is born. What happens in infancy?
Infancy is all about survival. The focus shifts completely from planning to execution. It's no longer about dreaming, but doing. Cash flow and sales become absolutely critical. As Adizes puts it, the emphasis is on cash.
I can relate to that. So the founder is basically in emergency mode all the time?
Precisely. Founders often work 16-hour days because the infant business needs constant attention. There's no formal processes, no bureaucracy. Everyone's is wearing multiple hats and scrambling to solve daily problems. One day you're fixing a product bug. The next you're closing a sale or handling a customer complaint.
So it's pure chaos. What about management style during infancy?
It tends to be heroic and autocratic. Adizes suggests, this isn't the time for consensus or delegation. A newborn organization simply doesn't have that luxury. The founder makes every major decision to keep things moving quickly. They're involved in all aspects of operations because the company isn't stable enough to trust others with critical tasks.
Makes sense. What are the warning signs that an infant company might be in trouble?
Adizes calls the main risk infant mortality, essentially running out of cash before gaining traction. If sales don't materialize quickly enough, or if customers don't pay fast enough, the company can literally die due to negative cash flow. Another warning sign is if the founder loses heart after launch, or if the team burns out from constant pressure with little reward.
Got it. So, assuming the company survives infancy, what comes next?
Then we hit the go-go stage, and this is where things get really interesting. The business is no longer struggling day to day. It's thriving with a growing customer base and positive cash flow. Sales are rising fast, and the market is responding well.
Sounds like the dream scenario.
It is exciting, but it comes with its own challenges. Go-go companies are like toddlers who've just learned to walk. They want to run everywhere and touch everything. There's an insatiable appetite for growth, and the company starts to believe the sky's the limit.
I can see how that confidence could be a double-edged sword.
Absolutely. The company becomes extremely opportunity-driven. Every new idea or chance to make money is eagerly pursued. The motto becomes, "We can do anything." This creates high energy and rapid revenue growth, but also a serious lack of focus.
Let me guess. The founder is still trying to run everything personally, even though the company is much bigger now?
You nailed it, Donna. That's what Adizes calls the founder's trap. The organization remains too dependent on the founder for all key decisions and cannot scale beyond the founder's personal capacity. The founder refuses to delegate, insists on approving even minor decisions, and becomes a massive bottleneck.
I've seen that firsthand. The founder's literally working 20-hour days, everyone's waiting for their decisions, and growth stalls because there's only so much one person can handle.
Exactly. Another major pitfall in go-go is overexpansion, trying to do too much at once. A go-go company might launch multiple products or enter several new markets in quick succession without adequate research or resources. There's a classic example Adizes gives of a successful shoe retailer who, flush with profits, impulsively buys an entire shopping mall thinking, "What we did for shoes, we can do for a whole mall."
Oh, wow. Talk about overconfidence. So how does a company move beyond this stage?
That brings us to adolescence, which Adizes calls the company's second birth. This is when the founder or founding team realizes the company can't continue in go-go mode without more structure. Often, new managers or executives are brought in, maybe a COO or even a new CEO, to impose order.
I imagine that's a pretty turbulent transition.
It absolutely is. Just like human adolescence, it's marked by identity crises and growing pains. The founder sees the company as their baby, even their life, and may struggle to let go of control. Meanwhile, the new professional managers want to assert authority and apply their expertise. This clash often leads to internal conflict and power struggles.
So it's basically the entrepreneurial culture versus the professional management culture. Do a lot of companies fail at this stage?
Many do. The most dangerous pitfall is what Adizes calls the divorce scenario, an unresolved power struggle between the founder and new management. It can play out in two ways. Either the professional managers quit or get pushed out, leaving the company back under the founder's sole control, or the founder exits and hard-nosed administrators take over, imposing overly rigid controls that kill the creative spark.
Any notable examples of companies going through this adolescent stage?
Apple is a classic case. In the mid-1980s, Steve Jobs, Apple's visionary co-founder, clashed with John Scully, the professional CEO he'd hired from Pepsi. As Apple hit adolescence, tensions escalated until Jobs was stripped of power and left the company. The classic divorce scenario. Under Scully, Apple did well financially at first, but eventually stagnated without Jobs' creative vision. It wasn't until Jobs returned in the late 1990s that Apple rejuvenated.
Right. And that ultimately led to one of the greatest corporate comebacks in history. So if a company successfully navigates through adolescence, what comes next?
Then we reach early prime, what Adizes considers the healthiest, most vibrant stage of the life cycle. Prime is the stage of optimal balance, where the organization is both flexible and controlled, both innovative and consistent.
Sounds like the organizational sweet spot.
It really is. In early prime, everything comes together. The vision that inspired the founder in courtship is still alive, but now it's backed by solid execution capabilities. The company operates in a focused, energized, and predictable manner. There's clarity of purpose. The organization knows exactly what its mission is and walks its talk.
How does the management style change in Prime?
It becomes participative and strategic. Leaders encourage healthy debate and input to avoid any single person becoming a bottleneck, but they also maintain clear authority and accountability. Decision-making is data-driven and rigorous, yet not sluggish.
And what about the organizational dynamics?
Typically very positive and cohesive. Morale is high, and the company often has very high employee retention. Cross-functional teamwork is strong. Silos are minimal because departments collaborate well with aligned goals. And crucially, the culture retains that innovative spark from earlier stages. As Adizes puts it, the entrepreneurial spirit is fully institutionalized.
This early Prime stage sounds almost too good to be true. Are there still challenges?
Absolutely, the biggest danger is complacency. Success can lull any organization into thinking they've figured it all out. Prime companies must continually challenge themselves and not let success breed stagnation. They also need to maintain that delicate balance between flexibility and control and continue adapting to market changes even when things are going well.
So the key is to never rest on your laurels. Can you give us an example of a company in early Prime?
Google in the mid-2000s to early 2010s is a great example. They had a strong core business with disciplined processes while simultaneously innovating with new products. They famously allowed engineers 20% time for creative projects, institutionalizing entrepreneurship. They had clear vision, robust infrastructure, and a culture of constructive debate. The result was consistently excellent. Google dominated its core market and grew steadily, yet continually introduced successful new services.
That balance between exploiting existing strengths and exploring new ideas, that's the hallmark of Prime, right?
Exactly. And that's why reaching and staying in Prime requires conscious effort to combine the strengths of earlier phases, vision, enthusiasm, drive, with the systems and teamwork of a mature firm.
This has been fascinating, Yakov. If I'm summarizing correctly, we've traced the journey from courtship, the vision phase, through infancy, survival mode, go-go, rapid but chaotic growth, adolescence, the painful transition to professional management, and finally to early prime, the balanced sweet spot. Each stage has its unique challenges and pitfalls, and understanding where your company sits in this life cycle can help navigate transitions more smoothly.
Perfectly summarized, Donna. The key insight from Adizes is that problems in a business are often normal for its stage. Chaos in a startup isn't necessarily bad business. It's part of growing up. Different solutions are needed at different stages. By focusing on the right things at the right time, building commitment, then driving sales, then tightening management and so forth, businesses increase their chances of not just growing, but growing healthily.
I think our listeners can definitely apply this framework to understand their own organizations better. Maybe you're wrestling with the decision to actually start that business idea. You're in courtship. Or perhaps you're the founder who needs to let go of some control to break through the founder's trap and go-go.
Absolutely. And remember that reaching that early prime sweet spot, where a company truly flourishes with both entrepreneurial energy and operational excellence, makes all those growing pains worthwhile in the end. That's all for today's podcast. We explored how companies like Goodfire, Anysphere, and Synthesia are innovating in AI and delved into each Adizes' corporate lifecycle model, revealing how businesses grow and evolve through distinct stages. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this episode with your friends and colleagues so they can also stay updated on the latest news and gain powerful insights. Stay tuned for more updates.